Alright then gang, so in order to tell Webpack how to compile and bundle our code, we need to create a Webpack config file. So over here, I'm going to create a new file in the root directory called webpack.config.js. The naming of this file is important, and it's a JavaScript file, not a TypeScript file in our case. Now, the first thing we need to do inside this file is to export an object using the Node.js module system. And we use that system because Webpack is ultimately going to be read by Node.js. So let me first of all say module.export is equal to an object. And inside this object, we can configure how Webpack is going to work with our project, which files we're going to compile, and where the output bundle is going to go afterwards. So the first thing I want to do inside this object is to specify the entry and output files. Now, by entry file, I mean our TypeScript source file, and that is going to be inside this source folder, the index.ts file right there. And by output file, I mean the resulting JavaScript bundle that Webpack is going to spit out into the public folder at the end. So first of all, let's create this entry property right here. So this is going to be a relative path, relative from this file, and it's a string, and we say // to say in the current directory, then go into source, then it's going to be the index.ts file. So that there is our entry file. And this is the entry point for Webpack. It's the first file it's going to look at and eventually compile. But it will also compile other dependencies of files that we import into that index file right there as well. But this is going to be the entry file it first looks at. Now, I've got a diagram just to quickly explain that and show you what a dependency tree looks like. We could have an entry file right here that imports other things, and this could import other things, and this right here would be the top file in the dependency tree, and ultimately the entry file. In our case, the entry file is this index.ts, but we can import other files into that later on as well, and it will compile those. So that's our entry property done. The output property right here is actually going to be an object, because inside here we specify a few different properties. The first thing is going to be the file name. So what do we want to call the JavaScript file that is going to be dumped ultimately inside the public folder? Well, I want to call it bundle.js. You don't have to call it this, but I'm going to call it that because we're bundling everything together. The second property is going to be a path property, and this is an absolute path to where we want to output this file. So it's not a relative path anymore, it's an absolute path. And in order to make an absolute path, we're going to use the path module. Now, the path module is something that comes along with Node.js. We don't have to install anything extra. All we need to do is require it at the top. So I'm going to say const, and then path is equal to require. This is how we require a module in Node.js. And the module we want is path, and it's going to import that for us. So now we're going to use this path module to create an absolute path down here. And the way we're going to do that is by saying path.resolve, which is a method to create an absolute path for us. And it's going to take in two parameters. The first one is going to be __ dir name, and that looks where this file is on the computer or the server, and it finds the absolute path to this file right here, and then we can add on as a second parameter the directory from this path that we're currently in that we want to jump into. So that in our case is going to be the public directory, and it's going to kind of create an absolute path based on these two things. This gets us the current location of the file, and this adds on to that absolute path the public folder at the end. So it kind of joins those together and resolves us an absolute path at the end of it. So now we're saying we want it to go inside this public folder right here. So now it's going to take the entry file, it's going to ultimately compile it later on, and it's going to output it inside the public folder, and it's going to call the output file bundle.js. So now we have those done, the next thing we need to do is tell Webpack to compile TypeScript files or modules using the TS Loader package into JavaScript, because at the minute all we're doing is specifying an entry point and an output. It doesn't know what to do in between. So we need to tell it to compile the TypeScript into JavaScript. And to do that, we're going to use a module property. Now, module just basically means file, so it's going to look at files and do things to the different files, like this one, for example. And inside here, we can have a rules property, which is an array. And inside this array, we can have an object for each different rule. Now, we need a rule which is going to say we want to transform or compile TypeScript files into JavaScript. So to do that, we create a new rule by adding in an object, and this object is going to contain a test property. And this test property is going to be used to test files when they're compiled. And if a certain file passes that test, then we will add different properties later on to determine what we're going to do with that file. If it doesn't pass, then it's not going to do anything with it, okay? So this right here is going to be a regular expression. Now, you don't need to understand what regular expressions are. I do have a whole series on them if you want to learn about them. The link I'll leave down below. But essentially, it's just going to say that a file must end, in our case, with .ts. So the regular expression for that is going to be 2 forward slashes, first of all, and the regex goes in the middle. And then it's going to be /. That escapes the original meaning of the dot, and it means a literal dot. So for example, dot right here, and then we want it to end in ts. Now, if we didn't have that /, the original meaning of a dot in regular expressions is any character. So that could be an A, it could be a B, Z, or it could be a 9 or a dash. It doesn't matter. A dot could represent anything, which is why we do the / before it. It escapes the original meaning in regex, and it means we want the literal dot. So now we're looking for .ts, okay? And this must be at the end of the file, not anywhere inside it. So we add a $sign at the end over there to say this must be at the end. That's what that $sign means. So that's the test right there. We're saying, okay, when we compile these different files, I want to check, is a file ending in .ts? If it passes, then we're going to use the TS loader on it. So we use a property called use, and we say TS loader. So if it passes this test right here, the TS loader is going to take that file and it's going to compile the TypeScript file into JavaScript for us. This is what the TS loader does that we installed in the last lesson. Okay, now we also want to, down here, use a property called include, which is an array. Now, this include property right here is going to specify where the TypeScript files should be, because otherwise they could be anywhere in our project, and we want to say only include any TypeScript files that are found inside the source folder, because that's where we're going to put all of our project code. So I'm going to, in here, use the path module again to create this path, and I'm going to say path.resolve, and over here I'll say dir name to get the current directory, and then add on source at the end, because this is an absolute path. So we're saying now only use this rule right here for items, for files inside this source folder right here. And that is pretty much it now. We have set up Webpack so that we have an entry file. It's going to look at this. We also have the output right here to say it's going to be output into the public folder, and it's going to be called bundle.js. And we have this rule right here to say all the files inside the source folder, I want to test them when we run this Webpack file later. And if they end in .ts, we're going to use the TS loader to compile those into JavaScript. And that is ultimately what is going to be bundled up and output right here. So I hope that all makes sense. So if I save this now and come over to index.ts, I'm going to just say console.log hello. I know this is not really great TypeScript, but I just want to demonstrate that eventually now, when we use Webpack, it's going to compile this into JavaScript and output it inside the public folder. So how do we now run Webpack to do this for us? Well, all I'm going to do is go to package.json, and right here where we have the scripts, I'm going to create a new script. And I'm going to call this build. You don't have to call it build, but that's ultimately what I'm doing here. I'm building my TypeScript into a bundle.js file. And then the script that this is going to run is going to be just Webpack. And that's all there is to it. Don't forget your comment at the end. And this runs Webpack for us. It looks at the webpack.config file, runs that file, does all of this stuff for us, and then we should be left with that bundle.js inside the public folder. So let us now save this file, and we can close these down. I'm going to open up a terminal, and down in the terminal, make sure you're in the correct directory, Webpack TypeScript in my case, and I'm just going to say npm run and then build, because we called the script build. So we have to say npm run first to run any kind of script that we specify right here, and then the name of the script, which is build in our case. That's going to run the Webpack command, and it should build all of this TypeScript right here into a bundle.js, which it does right here. So if we take a look in here, you're going to be surprised because it's all of this code right here, and we only see our code, that stuff right there at the end. Now this might seem very kind of long-winded and a lot of code for what is ultimately just a console log, but all of this code wrapping around it, that is going to be very small compared to the amounts of code that you might create using TypeScript in the future, so it's not going to be such a big issue. So now we've created our Webpack config file right there to compile TypeScript inside the source folder to this bundle file right here. In the next lesson, I'm going to show you how we can use the Webpack dev server to spin up a live reload server to preview our work in the browser.